So Gregg Popovich cost me over 400 some dollars. You may ask, how did he cost me all this money? Well, I had bought tickets for the Spurs Hornets game. I live around the Charlotte area, and the Spurs are going to play the Hornets tomorrow. And and you would think like, well, you still got the tickets. How did he cost you this money? Well, the way he cost me this money was I wasted 400 some dollars for some really good seats that were only several rows behind courtside. And now this bastard has decided he's going to sit Victor out for his game because of his bullshit load management. And if we're being honest, the load management is a bunch of bullshit. This injury Victor has is not really an injury. It's a bunch of horse shit. It was a minor ankle injury he had about 2-3 weeks ago, I believe. You can see it online. He steps on some Dallas Maverick trainer's foot, but it wasn't a big deal. Victor has said it for a while now. This is just another way for the Spurs to tank games. Granted, they're already really bad, but this is the way they continue to tank and not really play Victor as much as he should be playing, because when you're 20, you can play these back-to-back games. I don't buy into this crap. So this is a bunch of horse shit. And it's also basically him saying fuck you to anybody who lives in Charlotte, because in his eyes, Charlotte doesn't matter. They're not a big enough market for Victor to play against. So that reeks of elitism. It really sucks, because if you think about the whole entire East Coast, New York, Philadelphia, well, I heard he's going to play in Philadelphia. Now, Washington, D.C. will get to see him play, but Charlotte wasn't good enough, so he was just like, nah, you're not going to play Charlotte on Friday night. We're going to have you play on the second back-to-back, which really pisses me off, because Popovich's pattern has always been usually he will rest the player on the second back-to-back, not the first. So that was really egg, I feel, on my face, or anybody who lives in Charlotte who wanted to see Victor play, because we only get this opportunity once a year. So that's a fuck you. So basically, if you live in Charlotte, don't count on Victor ever playing in a Hornets game, because Greg doesn't feel that this is a worthy place for him to play in. So that's what I have to say. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I knew there were risks when I purchased these tickets, because I know Greg has always been obsessed with this load management bullshit. And I call it bullshit even as a Spurs fan, because I felt it was only legit when he was doing it with Manu and Tim. And that was when these guys were in their mid to late 30s, not when they were in their early 20s. If any of you guys remember, way back when Tim was very young, Duncan used to average 40 minutes per game. So yeah, this load management stuff is a bunch of horseshit when a player is young. They should be able to play just about every game. And it just pisses me off. Granted, I'll be fine. I can eat up that 400 some dollar loss. That I will definitely bounce back very quickly from this, but it pisses me off, because as a fan of the game, you look for these moments, you want to experience them, and it's not a given that you're going to always get that chance to experience it. Some people can say, well, you could buy tickets next year to see Victor play, but yeah, but one thing I had to point out, I bought these tickets the moment the NBA schedule came out, and everything was selling out so fast. Even these seats, I had to get quick enough, because all the other lower level seats were taken. So it's not easy to get tickets for a marquee player like Victor. It's not easy. And it will only get harder as the years go by, because right now I feel some fans have forgotten about him, as evident by the NBA All-Star Game voting. But his popularity is going to surge again now that he's playing great. And even these casual fans are going to start to take notice again. So next year, for sure, they'll buy the tickets. But it's terrible that the NBA continues to allow this to happen. Obviously, it won't stop, and they won't do a thing about it. But it really, really sucks ass. And fuck this guy. I really despise Greg. I've not been a fan of him since 2017, when he didn't stick up for Kawhi when Zaza took him out. At first he said it wasn't a cheap shot, and then only a few days later this bitch took out for Kawhi. But I think by then it was too late, and it planted the seeds for Kawhi to pull the stunt he did to get out of San Antonio. Greg is an ego maniac. I just don't respect him. Also, I don't like either political party, so you'll know where I'm going to go with this rant. I hate both the Democrats and Republicans, but I feel Greg does a lot of political grandstanding, because he's a sucky coach, and it allows him to deflect attention from his shitty coaching, which he hasn't done shit since probably the 2018 season. Just he's been a very lousy coach. His teams have been lottery teams, and yeah, this guy lives off of Tim Duncan's legacy. Yeah, I said it, and you guys can say I'm angry, but I'm just gonna go in on him. And if we're being honest, this guy is hoping to coattail to another ring from Victor. We'll see if he gets it. I don't think he'll be coaching after 80. But then again, you got Joe Biden who's running for president, who's 80, and Trump who's nearly 80. So maybe it's still possible he'll be like these typical old curmudgeons and try to last as long as he can. But yeah, I truly hate this guy. So fuck you, Greg. Fuck you, and that's all I have to say.